for mixed people and white people to come to the realization that they are the Nephilim, that they are the seed of the devil. Because this world has made it so that white is considered superior and they have the advantages, so it's very difficult for them to come to the understanding of what they really are. So it's difficult, but still, God being merciful, if he allowed salvation to Cain, if Cain would have done right, then he also would allow it to the Nephilim if they were to do right. But it's so difficult, being the indoctrination that they received from an early age, for them to come to the realization of who they are and come to the realization that they need to be cleansed. Just like the lepers, the white-skinned lepers needed to be cleansed. Well, the seed of the devil, the leper-skinned whites and mixed races need to be clean. But because the devil has tricked the entire world, he deceived the entire world, people will not come to that realization as readily. And it's very complex, because it's like, the salvation came to the Gentiles because the Jews, the black Jews, rejected Jesus when he came in the flesh, rejected him, gave him up to be crucified. So because as a result of that, salvation comes to the Gentiles. You see, so they were given the opportunity. So that opened up the door for the non-black, the non-Jews, the non-Israelites to receive salvation if they would accept the Most High as their Lord and Savior. The white race is represented by the Nephilim. The Nephilim, who have all the power, the mighty men of old, men of renown, doesn't necessarily mean giants in height. At a certain point, before they got the mixing of the genetics together, there were giants in the earth. Like, the Philistines were extremely tall. But in this day and age, where we're at a later time, the appearance of the Nephilim is more consistent with the appearance of the regular height of men. So they're not necessarily giants in height, whereas they were at an earlier stage when they were said to make the men of Israel look like grasshoppers. But in this day and age, the Nephilim is the white race and the mixed race, but mostly the white race. But they're men of old, men of renown. Why? Because they rule the world at this current stage. The whites rule the world, and they're violent, wars and stuff like that. But like with Cain, they had the opportunity to come to the Most High and accept him as their Lord and Savior, but will they? And that's the question, with a world that caters to them and with a world that says they're superior, because it is a world that has been indoctrinated by the teaching of the devil. It just makes it very, very hard for them to come to that realization. But the Nephilim are the white race, okay? And also, I guess, the mixed race that have that serpent seed, or that fallen angel seed, which makes people look leprous, with yellow hair and stuff like that. But mainly the features of the white race is indicative of the tampering of the original genetic code of the human. So it's like a stripping of, like, the melanin and all that is a stripping of the original man and woman that the Most High created. You'll get it mixed up and you won't understand, like, who are the Nephilim? They must be gone now, and but it even says in the Bible that they existed after the flood.
Yashayahu, Isaiah 14, 12-22. How has Lucifer, that rose in the morning, fallen from heaven? He that sent orders to all the nations is crushed to the earth. But you said in your heart, I will go up to heaven. I will set my throne above the stars, the Shamayim, and I will sit on the lofty mountains towards the north. I will go above the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. But now you shall go down to hell, even to the foundations of the earth, and they that see you shall wonder at you, and say, this is the man that troubled the earth, and made kings to shake, that made the whole world desolate, and destroyed its cities. He loosed not those who were in captivity, and all the kings of the nations lie in honor, every man in his house. But you shall be cast forth from the mountains as a loath carcass, with many dead who have been pierced with swords, going down to the grave. As a garment defiled with blood, shall you not be pure, So neither shall you be pure, because you have destroyed my land, and you have slain my people. You shall not endure forever. You are an evil seed. Prepare your children to be slain for the sins of their father, that they arise not and inherit the earth, nor fill the earth with wars. And I will rise up against them, saith Yahuwah Sabaoth, and I will destroy their name and remnant and seed. Thus saith Yahuwah. So there is literally a serpent seed. There is literally children who are descendants of their father, the devil. So here it mentions that they've destroyed his land, they have slain his people, and they shall not endure forever. Sounds like the Caucasians to me, the Nephilim, the descendants of the Nephilim. Who put Africa under colonial control? Why do these European nations keep coming to Africa and trying to steal the resources? Why are these people barbarous? Why are they extremely barbaric? Why are they experts of war? Wake up! It is very clear who Isaiah 14 is talking about and who the true fallen seed of Lucifer is. And that is the so-called white man. So-called white people are literally just a mutant race of people who are of their father, the devil. It's just that simple.
There was a real fear that if you let blacks get control, everything would change. And there was no, with some people, there was no idea that there would be any fairness or any democracy or anything, that there would be a decent, well-run city government, county government, whatever. It was like, if this happens, we're lost. And it was just a terrible fear. Southerners are like any other group of people. I mean, there are all kinds of folks that are included. And regardless of where they stood on integration or anything else, there were a lot of really good people who made wrong decisions and not so much did wrong things as failed to do right things. And when you look back on it, try to sort it out and figure out what could have been different. I think one of the things is that people felt a sense of being powerless. Maybe people who would have been willing to go along and go further and move forward sooner wouldn't have had any notion of any way that they could impact this, or that anything that they could personally do that would be helpful. Even as now, most of us live in a society that we think is far from perfect, and yet between now and 2 weeks from now, we're probably not going to do very much to change it. Partly because we have no sense of what we could do. And in the South, it was that way. Even people who were willing to take risk and move out were just not able to visualize what kinds of things could help.
Go on. That's just Christianity has been misused for hundreds of years to keep your people in subjugation. And I'm speaking now of a reality that the history books do not record, but history does. Christianity was used because if I said, okay, you don't believe the way I believe, and Christianity is the best way to believe, so I'm going to take you, and it's going to be for your own good, honey. It's going to be for your own good. I'm going to take you, and I'm going to tear away everything about you, and just keep your hands and your feet, because they can help you getting off. But I'm going to do this for your own good, because I'm going to give you a God. Now, what does that God look like? The reality of it is when he came here, he didn't look like me. So what am I going to do about that? I'm going to make him look like me. So for hundreds of years, we've been telling you, and now you have to keep in mind that we took away any other god that you might have through force, through fear, through pain, through any means necessary. So now I'm going to give you a God, but I'm going to do that in a way that is going to further me. So I'm going to give you a God that looks like me, so that when you bow down to that God, you're bowing down to me. And because I wasn't hearing these things, because the Bible tells us what Jesus looked like when he walked here. The Bible tells us what he's going to look like when he comes back. We have taken that and changed it. Do you remember when Jesus went to Egypt? He hid in Egypt. The people in Egypt, honey, they're not white people. How could he hide there? See, so that we've done that. We've given your people a God that looks like me, so that you don't have any qualm about bowing down to me. See, because this is the image of God. I don't know of any sin that we've committed that's greater than that one. And we did it with the Bible in our hands when we were beating your ancestors for looking at us eye to eye. And we're quoting to them from the scriptures. Even if we allowed them to have their own ministers, which there wasn't many of because we didn't allow them to read. But if we said, okay, you can have your church. It's my plantation. I'm going to do what I want with it. You can have your church. But then spies were sent. And those spies would stand outside the church, and that man would be beaten, perhaps killed, if he preached anything other than 3 sermons. And those 3 sermons were turn the other cheek, obey your master, and it's going to get better one of these days. God's going to take care of all of it. You're going to be in a happy, happy land. So put up with what you're putting up with now. And we made your people preach that to your people. And it's still being done. It's still being done. Those are the sermons that your people hear. Those sermons are what causes your people to comfort me when I do something that's wrong.